Okay, we are back in the damn building. Good morning to all of you. Yes, I will be trying to make sure I do a bit more transfer stuff throughout the transfer window. Big up to your damn selves. Like, share, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. Wherever it comes up on down there to the side, whatever, just make sure you hit the like button or dislike button. If you think I'm always waffling, I'm too negative, they call me Megatron for a reason. Just do whatever it is you need to do. Make sure you engage with the content. Okay, so today we are here to talk about Malick Fofana. The price has been set apparently by Lyon. They have now told everybody this is the price that it's going to take in order for you to be able to sign Malick Fofana. So let's take a look here. Liverpool are one of the clubs in contact with Lyon for Malick Fofana after the French side set a 60 million euro asking price. That's one report. You've got Lyon, of course, demanding 60 million for Fofana, who has interest from the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Fulham, Nottingham Forest, Bayern, RB Leipzig, and Napoli. That is a lot of teams who are after one player. That's a lot of teams. And the thing is, that's a whole range of teams as well. We're not even talking like it's just the top echelons or, it's just the big boys. Now we're talking about teams like Nottingham Forest in there, RB Leipzig in there, Napoli, who have just won Serie A, Fulham, random. But which team would be the best? That's the question I actually want you guys to answer in the chat is let me know for those who watch Malick Fofana, for those who rate Malick Fofana, for those who don't rate Malick Fofana, let me know what kind of level you think he's at right now. He's 20 years of age. We're going to take a look at some of the stats and stuff like that. But he's 20 years of age. He's had a good season, by anyone's standards, and to be quite honest, there's quite a few senior pros who would love to have his kind of record in terms of goals and assists, this season. So in terms of this season or 24-25 season just gone, he's had a decent season, man. He's had a really, really good season. And I think it's just about, him pushing on and forward. Now, obviously, Lyon are pissed right now. Like they're in League Two doing up whatever. Now, whether they can, well, obviously, I know they've appealed, but whether they're going to win that appeal, who knows? They may be playing League Two football in France next season with no European football as well. So this is where they need to, that 60 million euros that they're asking for, yeah, they might have to just drop that a little piece. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like a team like Liverpool, especially, even though I like him, but I feel like a team like Liverpool might just look at that and think, I'm not paying 60 million. Yeah, I mean, you drop that to 30. Yeah, I mean, we got a deal. So let's wait and see. They're probably going to have to budge at some point, but we'll obviously see because Malick Fofana is one of the better young players in world football, right now. So apparently, according to Fabrizio, he mentioned that Nottingham Forest have agreed a deal with Lyon for Malick Fofana, but there is no agreement yet on the player side. Fofana is waiting for Champions League clubs, with obviously Chelsea still keen, on the player. So even that's quite interesting. The fact that, so I would love to know what that deal is. Yeah, and again, by the time this video comes out, everything could have changed, by the morning. That's usually how it goes anyway. But listen, we'll post it regardless. So I'm saying this as of today's date is the 2nd of July, right? At this Wednesday, the 2nd of July, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay. Like he's waiting. He's cool. He's doing the smart thing, which is let me see my options first. Let me not just dive into the first thing that comes to no. Let me chill. Let me see. Clearly, there's a few clubs out there. Chelsea at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? Liverpool, are they interested? Heck, even RB Leipzig. Like, there's a few teams out there. So it's smart of him to, want to wait. In pounds, apparently it's 51.5 million for him. And as obviously, as I said, the Arsenal's, Chelsea, Fulham, Nottingham Forest, they've all contacted the player, Bayern Munich and, Leipzig and Napoli. So again, like I said, there's a lot of teams who are looking at this guy and thinking, yeah, man, he might be the player that we need to get in our team in order for our team to be able to go to the next kind of heights. I think he's a player with massive potential. Now, of course, we're going to take a look at some of the stats, as I mentioned before. And even before we look at those stats and stuff like that, right? Like, let me chat to you people. Let me chat to you guys. Before we even get to the stats, ultimately, these kind of players like Malick Fofana, the way I kind of look at them anyway, is he's a young player and he's got massive potential. At the moment, he's showing there is a progression. Do I think he's of a level that he walks into one of the big boys' team and starts? No, I don't think so. I don't even believe he's even at a Diaz Gakpo kind of level. And I don't even consider that level to be that high. But I don't even think he's there yet. kind of thing. Do I think he can surpass that? Yes, if he continues along the trajectory he's on currently, then yes, I believe he could surpass that. I feel like he would have more to his game. I think he already does kind of have more to his game, but it's not refined at this moment in time. Whereas those two are quite refined in what they can do. They've been in this game a lot longer and they're a lot experienced. Now, I just use those two just to give you like a measuring stick as to the levels, kind of thing. I'm not saying he is of that level, but is he a good young player? Of course he is. Is he someone you'd want to spend money on? For me, of course he is. Now, that there is a limit to that number, but I would still sit here and say, yeah, I would still want to sign someone like a Malick Fofana, but I wouldn't go overboard and crazy. Problem is, if you have a fantastic season next season now, as an example, obviously, like I said, we don't know what league Lyon are going to be in, but let's say Lyon go back into Ligue 1, and he performs, excellently, gets you 25 goals and 20 assists, whatever. Let's just say he does all of those stuff in the GA side, on top of refining his game even more so, like Bradley Barcola, PSG. Now, I'm not saying he'll go PSG, but I'm just saying that's someone else now gets him. And then you're looking at it like, well, we could have signed Bradley Barcola, we could have signed Desiree Doué, we could have signed who else? The Kvaratskhelia. We could have signed all these guys, but we didn't. You know what I mean? Because we've got rice at home. Sometimes I want to eat McDonald's. How about that? Do you know what I mean? How about that? But listen, I digress. Let's look at a bit more of the news. Bayern have contacted the 20-year-old Lyon winger, Malick Fofana. Nottingham has already reached an agreement with Lyon, but Fofana is awaiting offers from Champions League clubs. So yeah, at this moment in time, it's just really a waiting game for all the clubs. As I said before, winger, left wing as well. Pacey, got good, neat, close ball control. I think with someone like him, his dribbling is okay, but it could be, again, refined a little bit more. He can be quite naive in certain situations, I do feel, anytime that I've kind of watched him. But, he's young at the moment. I guess he's doing everything you kind of want to see. And I'm not trying to put too much pressure. Like, it's unfortunate that we live in worlds, right, in football, that players like Lamine Yamal exist. Do you know what I mean? Man's 17 and he's better than 90% of the footballers who are playing football right now. Do you get what I mean? So it's unfair because we live in that kind of world, and you've still got other young players who are really good, the Pedris, the Jude Bellinghams. Like you got these kind of really, really good young players. So sometimes I try not to, I do it sometimes, but I try not to like put these guys up with those guys, because just like when you get older, like in the senior players, so there's obviously Messi, but in a world where there's Messi and Ronaldo, we can still appreciate how great Ribery was, or how great Robin was, or Hazard. But them man weren't even close to that level. Like when I say they're not close at all. Like they're so far away from that level. But you still appreciate these guys are great players, though. These are fantastic players. Now, again, I'm talking about legends of the game. I ain't calling Malick Fofana going to be a soon-to-be legend. What I am saying is that sometimes I do feel like in football, when we're judging these players and we look at these players, we start looking at them and thinking, oh, right, like, but such and such is doing this and da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, yeah, but you can still appreciate that this player can still be good. Yeah, do you get what I mean? Like, ultimately, no one's got Messi or Ronaldo. You know what I mean? We ain't never going to see that. I don't think so anyway. So when we've got other players who are more or less kind of on a similar playing field, I don't really see too much of an issue. But listen, that's neither here nor there. As I mentioned, last season, 41 games, 11 goals, 6 assists in all competitions. Very good return. 19, 20 years of age, obviously, last season as well. Good return. I mean, that Europa League campaign looks like he had a really, really good campaign. 6 goals, 2 assists in only 10 games. That is fantastic. Really, really good from Malick Fofana. And again, like I said, he's just building his own portfolio. You know what I mean? Like he's just putting himself in the best position possible in order for him to be able to succeed, in the future. Now, let's take a look at some of the comparisons, obviously. Okay, so I've picked players who are young players, young wingers in world football right now. So you got Jamie Gittins, you got Nico Williams, you got Jesus Rodriguez of Real Betis. Young wingers in the game of football right now. They're all doing their thing. I would put Malick Fofana into this kind of bracket. None of these are Lamine Yamal. Let's put it to you that way, so we don't have to worry about him being on that kind of level. I'm just talking about players who are young players of today. I think the oldest is Nico Williams, I believe. I'm not 100, but I'm sure Nico Williams is the oldest. I believe he's 22 years of age. And when we're looking at players like this, I'm like, yeah, like you can still have Lamine Yamal, but you can have these guys all under it. Now, do I think he's anywhere near the top of this list? No, because you've still got Bradley Barcola, even though he's 23. But you know what I mean? Like, you still got those kind of players, Desiree Doué and stuff like that. They're all in here. They're all in this kind of bracket that I put them in. Is that, yeah, these are like the next batch. And then below that batch, I'm not even going to name the players because it'll sound like I'm being disrespectful, but there's a batch below that where I'm like, yeah, now Malick Fofana isn't in that batch. He's in this batch here with these kind of players, but he's not at the top end of this batch, if that kind of makes sense. Let me know in the comment section if it does. But Malick Fofana, he's first, Nico Williams second, Jamie Gittins third, Jesus Rodriguez is in fourth. Now, before we continue here, like I said, I just wanted to take a look just to see what these players look like amongst each other, amongst your kind of peers. These are the kind of guys that I feel he would be kind of, competing with, so to speak. Jesus Rodriguez is only 19 years of age. I believe he's actually moving to Como, the team in Syria. Check out my video on Como, by the way. But yeah, I believe he's moving there. So I've just thrown up as many statistics as I can find. Let's see who looks pretty decent. So obviously Jamie Gittins in third so far. Shots on target, he's having the most per 90 minutes, 1.3. Malick Fofana, joint second in that regards. Goals, 0.5. Malick Fofana again, joint second. Goals from outside, but conversion rate. This is the one I was really interested in. What are these lots' conversion rate like? Jamie Gittins, yes. Jamie Gittins has got a 23.53 conversion rate. Malick Fofana in second. And then after that, it's pretty woeful between Nico Williams and Jesus Rodriguez. Malick Fofana on 22.73. By the way, Jamie Gittins, I believe, has just moved to Chelsea as well. So, that's another play we kind of missed out on there. Open play passes, assists, chances created. Again, he comes in second in that regards. Only Nico Williams is creating more chances per 90 minutes. Passes attempted, Malick Fofana's coming out on top, completed. Passing accuracy, better. Crosses attempted, he's attempted the second most, and he's got the joint highest with the best crossing accuracy. Through balls, only 0.1. Nico Williams isn't playing any. That's very interesting. And Jesus Rodriguez as well. But Nico Williams is the one I was very interested about. I didn't know that. Do you know what I mean? But hey, listen, it is what it is. Sideways passes, take-ons overrun. Nico Williams is constantly doing that. Duels contested. Take-ons completed, actually. Let's look at this. So he's 1.4, which puts him out in last, actually, to be fair, when it comes to the take-on. So obviously, Jamie Gittins really good. Nico Williams next, and then obviously Jesus Rodriguez, and then Malick Fofana. So coming in last in that regards. Obviously, the success, it is what it is. But when I'm looking at your take-ons completed anyway, I'm like, okay. Ground rule success. Don't know why I put that in there, but it's in there anyway. Touches, yeah. Ball recoveries, yeah. What's that? Third. Possession lost. He loses possession the least. Yeah, the least. But that could be contextual, just in regards to the team. Nico Williams being a very star man in that team. So it could be one of those kind of things. And of course, the way that Lyon kind of play. Now, let me show you what it looks like, because obviously, as a Liverpool fan, there's obviously always a lot of talk, in regards to, could he come in at Liverpool? Should Liverpool even go in for him and stuff like that? Unfortunately, because I'm a Liverpool fan, I'm going to look at it from the Liverpool lens. If Barcelona came out, I would have done that. But I don't think Barcelona are actually after him. All right, let's see what he looks like up against the Liverpool forwards. Now, I'm expecting a landslide when it comes to this, in terms of him up against the Liverpool forwards, Cody Gakpo and Luis Diaz. I am expecting a landslide, but let's see how big this landslide actually is. All right, so we got shot accuracy 68.18%. So he's got the best shot accuracy, but he's having the least amount of shots. So take from that what you will. Goals, yeah, he's not winning there. Inside the box, outside of conversion rate, second. Who's first? Luis Diaz has got a better conversion rate, 26.53, in comparison to the 22.73. What else have we got that I wanted to see? Chances created. So Luis Diaz is creating more chances, 2.1 to Malick Fofana's 1.4, Cody Gakpo 1.7. Passing accuracy, not that far off. Crosses attempted within the games, he's actually doing better in that regards. Forward passes, backward passes, take-ons overrun, duels contested 9.5, Cody Gakpo 9.8, Diaz. Now, this is something that people talk about with Luis Diaz quite a lot, is that it's the defensive side. Oh, if he goes, we're going to lose that. I honestly couldn't care less, but that seems to be something that people talk about quite a lot. Take-on success. Let's see, how many take-ons has he completed? So he's completing the least, but whoa, 0.1 less than Cody Gakpo, 0.6 less than Luis Diaz, who's on the far right. He completes 2 take-ons per 90 minutes, and his take-on success is at 50%. Malick Fofana is at 43. It's actually Cody Gakpo who's got the best take-on success, to be fair. That's mad. Ball recoveries 3.6 to 4. Yeah, not that far off. Touches in opposition box 6.8, 5.8, 5.8. Yeah. To be fair, I'm not even, when I look at that, I'll be honest with you. When I look at that, and people say that like we can't let none of these guys go. Yeah, I just don't see it. I don't know. You guys have to let me know in the chat and stuff like that. But yeah, for me, I personally just don't really see it. Like, I don't see why you couldn't let someone like Luis Diaz or Cody Gakpo, by the way. Like, it could be either or. And you couldn't get the money and get this guy for mad cheaper. And I'll be honest, I don't feel like he's going to do that much less than what those guys are producing. But listen, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Let me know your thoughts, of course, in the comment section, people. Would you, whichever club is watching this, whatever fan base is watching this, let me know. Would you want your club to sign Malick Fofana in the summer? So Chelsea fans, Bayern fans, Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans, Nottingham Forest fans, Fulham fans, Napoli fans. Let me know in the comment section, would you want your club to sign Malick Fofana? Let me know, and I'll catch you guys soon. Peace.